What up YouTube, it's your boy ProfessorStix and I'm back again with another Call of Duty Warzone video to help you rise above the average. Now today we're going to be comparing the XM4 and the M4A1. We'll be comparing the weapon stats, the damage profile, and we'll be talking about the best situational use, what attachments to use, and we'll also be comparing the recoil pattern. If you liked the video and learned something new, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and consider turning on notifications so you don't miss another Call of Duty Warzone video to help you get better right now. Now let's get into it. Now when we're looking at the weapon stats for the XM4 versus the M4A1, they are pretty much identical. The ADS speed for the XM4 is 237 milliseconds. The M4A1 comes in at 233 milliseconds. When we're looking at the movement speed, the XM4 comes in at 4.625 meters per second, and the M4A1 comes in at 4.703 meters per second. When we're looking at the reload speed, the XM4 comes in at 2.35 seconds, and the M4A1 comes in at 2.23 seconds. Again, not much difference. When we're looking at the rate of fire, the XM4 comes in at 727 rounds per minute, whereas the M4A1 comes in at 809 rounds per minute. And this is where you see a bit of difference when it comes to the XM4 and the M4A1. Now let's take a look at the damage profile. When we look at the XM4, it does 48 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 6 shots to kill a fully armored opponent, whereas the M4A1 does 42 damage to the head, which means it's also going to take 6 shots to kill a fully armored opponent. The XM4 does 32 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 8 shots to kill a fully armored opponent, and the M4A1 does 28 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 9 shots to kill a fully armored opponent. The damage fall off for the XM4 is 22 meters, and the damage fall off for the M4A1 is 29 meters. Now it's important to note that after 21 meters, the damage profile for the XM4 is pretty much identical to the M4A1, which means it's going to be doing 42 damage to the head and 28 damage to the chest outside of 22 meters. For the XM4, the time to kill a fully armored opponent when you are hitting all of your headshots is 413 milliseconds, compared to the M4A1, which is 371 milliseconds. When you're hitting all of your chest shots, a fully armored opponent is going to be downed in 578 milliseconds, compared to the M4A1, which is at 593 milliseconds. Now you can see here that the XM4 and the M4A1 are pretty much identical when it comes to weapon stats and damage profile. We're going to get into the situational use now. I believe that the XM4 should be used for an aggressive playstyle simply because it does a lot of damage very close. The fire rate is really good and it's going to down opponents very quickly with that really good TTK. It's perfect to pair with an SMG or a sniper rifle. It's also important to note that you can build the M4A1 as an SMG, and so you can go ahead and do the same thing for the XM4, but obviously you're going to increase your recoil. This weapon should only be used at close range to close medium range. Unless you're a beast, you probably won't be using this weapon outside of 50 meters due to its incredible recoil pattern. Because of the difficult recoil pattern, I would only recommend the XM4 if you're looking for something new to try, because this won't be a meta weapon. Now let's get into the attachments. All right guys, so here is the attachments for the XM4 loadout. We're gonna go with the agency suppressor, the 13.7 inch takedown. We're gonna go with the field agent grip. We're gonna go with the 60 round fast mag, and then this part is up to you. You can either go with the SASR jungle grip, or if you need an optic, you can put on an optic. But for me, I go with the SASR jungle grip, which is gonna give you the ADS time, and it says flinch resistance. All right, let's get into the recoil pattern. All right, so let's take a look at the XM4's recoil pattern versus the M4. And so here I'm standing about 15 meters away from this wall to kind of show you the recoil pattern at that distance. As you can see, it's pretty much identical. It looks like Call of Duty just took the M4A1 and copy and pasted the recoil pattern onto the XM4. And so if you're used to the M4A1, you're pretty much already kind of familiar with the XM4's recoil pattern. It is going to be hard to control at distance, but up front, because of that fire rate, if you're using it within 15 to about 30 meters, you're going to definitely shred. Now, like I said, I don't recommend this weapon for new beginners because the recoil pattern is not as stable as like the Kilo or the Krig. So those are some weapons that you'll want to start off with if you're looking for something that has easy recoil to control. But here are my final thoughts for the XM4. It's pretty much in line with the M4A1. The M4A1 was my favorite weapon when I first got started in Warzone, so I'm pretty used to the recoil pattern, but I probably won't be revisiting the XM4 unless something significant is changed. Maybe they add in some more attachments or they reduce the recoil at distance, whatever it might be. Right now, I'm not visiting it. You all know that right now it's DMR zone, and so the XM4 is just not going to compete with the DMR. Now, is this a good weapon to pick up as ground loot? Yes, it is. You absolutely want to target this weapon as ground loot, especially the green XM4, because it's just going to be easier to use that recoil very close at those upfront close fights when you first land before you get your loadout. With the TTK being pretty much the same, I'm leaning towards sticking with the M4A1 if I'm looking to switch things up, simply because the XM4 and the M4A1 are pretty much identical. And with the M4A1 having a little bit of different options when it comes to attachments like aim stability and being a better iron sight in my opinion than the XM4, I would just stick with the M4A1. So nothing special here when it comes to the XM4, pretty much the exact same build. Let me know down in the comments below, are you rocking the XM4 over the M4A1? I know there's some fans of the M4A1 out there. As for me right now, it is DMR zone, and if you want to be able to compete, that is the weapon of choice. And so I'm excited. I'm going to be dropping some gameplay. I dropped a 20 bomb using this secret loadout that I'll be sharing in my next video. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification so you don't miss the next Call of Duty Warzone video. As always, guys, make sure you drop into Verdansk and do what you do best. Frag out. Peace.